CTV News Northern Ontario, a special presentation. Here's Ian Campbell.
Good evening, Happy New Year. Tonight we bring you our sixth and final presentation of the good news from 2025. And we're broadcasting once again from Kivvy Park, taking in some of these incredible lights. Whether it was the cute and fuzzy or the warm and impactful, we're looking to cover it all. Stories like new murals popping up in Sudbury or some Ukrainian seniors whipping up a tasty festival. Or if it was cute, you're going to want to check out these pet therapists. Take a look.
As part of the foundation of the Up Here Festival, they have planned some new murals that are beautifying the city, one stroke at a time.
11 years of bringing art and music to the community, especially murals, which are a way of uplifting, bringing color, activating artists in our spaces. So I'm really excited.
The artists have come from near and far, with one local artist from Northern Ontario and 4 who came from Toronto, Montreal, Saskatoon, and even Brazil.
I'm feeling so glad to be here and make this wall here, because it's so good, because people here are so kind.
People have been really nice. Like everyone that has a store on the building, like they're just super nice, and they come check on the mural and they're super interested. A bunch of people like are honking while we're painting to be like, hey, it's really nice. So generally, like, really good vibes.
The murals are located in Azilda, downtown Sudbury, and the Flour Mill this year, with installations on the Azilda Arena, Elm, Larch, and Beach Street, as well as Notre Dame Avenue. The art is bringing color back to the city, and one artist spoke about an interaction he had with someone who's experiencing homelessness, who spoke about his thoughts on the mural.
I cried a lot when he told me he felt so good to see my art, you know. He was in this situation, living in the street.
I believe art should be accessible, and I don't think that anyone needs to have like a knowledge of art to appreciate art.
5 new artworks are being added into Greater Sudbury's collection of murals from Up Here Festival, with event organizers saying that this is just the beginning as the festival commences tomorrow. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
These furry volunteers have a very important job to do, providing some positivity to patients at Sudbury's Health Sciences North.
We have some special guests. Yes.
This is the Petsis therapy program, now referred to as Angels on Leashes. It was started by Rita Terry's veterinarian 40 years ago, and she's been a part of it right from the get-go.
We're very much in demand. We go once a month to each floor. And we could be going 7 days a week, but sort of have to limit. And I try to have about 8 dogs, 6 to 8 dogs at each visit.
There are 21 dogs and 20 volunteers in the program who visit 19 floors in the hospital, including the emergency department and the cancer clinic. Volunteers are always needed.
There is a commitment that you have to make, no question about it. We come to the hospital 3 times a week during the year, normally. But again, it's, as Rita told you before, it's the best job in the world, and the payback is both ways. So if you're looking for something that really brings you joy and you can bring joy to other people, it's a great thing to do, to share your dog with somebody.
There is science behind all of this cuteness. Research shows that petting a dog can decrease cortisol levels, otherwise known as the stress hormone. Terry says the program benefits patients and workers at the hospital, and it's not hard to see why.
Just to see the expressions on the people, and the staff will say, oh, she's been depressed, she hasn't said a word in ages, she's so depressed. And the smiles, they just, you know, you can't help but like doing it, because it just makes your heart feel good. It really does. I can't explain it any better than that.
You can see people walking down the hallway and all of a sudden a smile breaks out on their face when they see the dogs. And you know you've made somebody's day better.
Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
There's a flurry of activity as these seniors prep food for the upcoming Ukrainian Garlic Food Fest.
We definitely will sell, say, 600 dozen pierogies and definitely 300 dozen cabbage rolls. We'll sell out all the borscht, sauerkraut, dill pickles that we've got.
The volunteers live at the Ukrainian Senior Center. Some have been helping for decades. They make and sell homemade pierogies and cabbage rolls regularly to raise money for the center. But production ramps up in the days leading up to the annual festival.
These people have been doing this for a long time. I'm sure they could close their eyes and pinch pierogi all day long. And it's a good social event too.
In Ukrainian, these are called pierogi. Along with cabbage rolls, they're a staple in the Ukrainian cuisine.
People in Eastern Europe and Ukrainians love garlic. So if you go way back in the history of the center, there were a few ladies that said we should have a little event and do something with garlic.
It was back in the early 90s when the garlic idea was combined with a community gathering.
It started out 34 years ago as a social just for the residents in the building. And everyone in the building had to prepare a dish with lots of garlic in it. And then we all just had a nice big social. And the next year, other people wanted to come. And then it just ballooned.
The Ukrainian Garlic Food Fest is the largest fundraiser for the Senior Center. It's set for this Sunday in Natition Park in front of the Senior Center. Along with garlic nibblers, there will also be the staples. Angela Gemmel, CTV News, Sudbury. Smuck noho.
And a schmuck noho to you too, Angela. She always gets the fun assignments. I can taste those pierogies now. We have to head to commercial break, but before we do, here's a few holiday messages from a few faces you might recognize.
To all of the citizens of Nipissing, Témiscamingue, on behalf of the Government of Canada, my best wishes for a peaceful and love-filled holiday season. À tous les citoyens de Nipissing-Témiscamingue, j'en profite pour vous souhaiter, au nom du gouvernement du Canada, une saison des fêtes remplie de paix et d'amour.
Hi everyone, my name is Jamie West.
Hello, I'm France Gelina.
All the way from Queen's Park to
beautiful Nickelbell
to Sudbury, we want to wish you an amazing holiday season. I hope you have time to spend with your family and to give back to the community.
Bonne année à tous et profitez-en pour passer du temps en famille.
Happy New Year!
Welcome back to beautiful Kivy Park, and if you're just joining us, tonight is nothing but the good news. And a lot of the good news we did in 2025 focused on social change or social impact. There were stories like the hockey player who unfortunately lost his gear in a fire and the team that rallied around him. Or there were the two a little further north from here who undertook that unbelievable trek, the Great Northern Challenge, all to raise funds for an outdoor camp. But first, there was the story Lindsay did out of Wawa that focused on the unfortunate event of family violence. And should family violence or domestic violence happen, making sure everyone's beloved pets are never again left behind.
We know the lack of pet-friendly domestic violence shelters across the country is a barrier to leaving abusive situations.
November is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and across Canada, only 13% of women's shelters are able to accommodate pets.
It's over 60% of shelters at least have some form of pet sheltering. If not on site, it is the external partnership. I would say the majority, it's still the external partnership as opposed to having the internal. But this funding that Purina has been able to give us is definitely making a huge difference.
In 2024, Purina, along with WSC, launched the Purple Leash Project, supporting 20 shelters, keeping more than 320 women, children, and over 200 pets safe together.
The abuser is not just targeting you. They are often targeting or threatening to target children, family members, and that includes pets.
Chadwick Home in Wawa was one of the recipients this year.
We were able to have built a fenced-in area directly behind the garage on the shelter site. We retrofitted our storage room and turned it into a space where we put a couple of kennels, crates. In the shelter itself, we we're able to really dedicate one bedroom for now.
The 10-bed shelter is meant for people to stay up to 6 weeks, but Ross says due to the lack of affordable housing, many people are staying over a year.
Support local shelters in your areas and advocating for pet-friendly spaces. Those of us that have pets, we know they're part of the family. And when we stand together in the community, we show survivors that their support.
Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Josh Chalette gets a pair of hockey skates molded to his feet. It's just part of the new hockey gear he's been provided.
From skates to helmet, just everything. My whole bag just burned, so yeah, everything.
Chalette and his family lost everything in a house fire 2 days before Christmas. Wanting to help their teammate and friend, other players from the U18 AAA Sudbury Wolves decided to set up a GoFundMe, setting a goal of $15,000.
We started it the night of the fire, when it happened, and everyone's still donating to this day, and we're really grateful, and it's awesome that the whole hockey community came together.
We're family, right? So we just want to help each other out as much as we can, so I feel like we did the right thing with our friend here.
Most of his teammates joined Chalette when he picked up his new gear at Skater's Edge just a few hours before practice.
Playing at an elite high level, making sure we're getting him the exact same stuff that he had. He's got to be at the top of his game as soon as he gets back on the ice, so we had to fit him in the same equipment that he had.
Just thank the hockey community, everyone that came together and supported me through this and helped me get through this.
The team still has a few more on-ice practice sessions over the next week before their first game of the new year, set for January 11th in Timmins. Josh says he hopes to have the new equipment broken in by then. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
And they're off. Two men who grew up in Hearst, became friends, enjoyed summer camp, and have now become northern adventurers.
Jean-Philippe Marino and Petsis Beauparlant are skiing and snowshoeing their way across Nighthawk Lake in Timmins for a weekend excursion. This is training for a longer expedition they plan to do later this winter. On February 6th, they will embark on a 450-kilometer route from Fort Albany to Hearst. Planning for their great challenge began in 2017 when Marino's father passed away. It was a trek the elder Marino had completed decades earlier.
Before he passed, I told him that I was going to do the same trip in honor of his life and to make a difference.
Their great challenge is also a fundraising initiative for Camp Solstice de Vie in Hearst, an outdoor summer camp for youth.
They need a new camp, so we'll see what kind of funds we have and go from there.
It was initiated in 1982, and they wanted to raise some funds to build the big camp. So the idea started. One guy said, we're going to walk all the way to James Bay if we have to raise some money. So and that's what they did. So they pulled a team of 3 together, and they were trained by the Army back then for 2 weeks, and then they were off for a month long, and back then they raised $10,000.
While they didn't train with the military, they say they are experienced winter campers and are equipped with a prospector's tent. This weekend's jaunt will allow them to test their equipment before their month-long experience.
There's a few old trading posts along the way. That's how the North was built, really.
We're going to have fun. It's going to be challenging, physical and mental, but we do one day at a time.
People can follow the Great Challenge 2025 on social media platforms and on a GoFundMe page. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Fort Albany to Hearst. Good on you guys. What an incredible journey and what an amazing cause. Camp Solstice de Vie. Way to go. Stay with us. There's more good news to come. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario and the good news of 2025. Welcome back. Well, these next few stories focus on a more historic angle. Boomers, there's now a song out there for you that celebrates all things boomerdom. And one Sudbury area school, well, they got a lesson on what life is like to be in the year 2000. And oi, do I feel old. But first, the Spiritual Center in Espanola underwent a big change. Check this out.
The moment in Espanola was described as a dream come true. The Jesuits of Canada formally transferred governance of the Anishinaabe Spiritual Center to a newly formed Indigenous-led board of directors. The celebration was marked with the gifting of a special medal commemorating Pope Francis's visit to Canada.
The Indigenous Catholic population come and use this place and learn, and they grow and spiritually so that they can serve their communities. So this is a historic day, and it also touches on the call to action number 60, where it's about we're talking about self-governance, but being able to claim the spirituality in which they want to claim.
Rosella Kenosha-Meg, a respected Indigenous leader from Manitoulin Island, will take over the helm as chair.
To me, it's a sacred moment. It's the beginning of a new chapter. It's the beginning of new way of, life for the board of directors, and so I'm really happy with that.
Over 40 years ago, the Spiritual Center was established by the Jesuits of Canada in collaboration with the Diocese of Sault Ste. Marie and local First Nations, offering a unique perspective by intertwining both Catholic faith and Indigenous traditions. It has welcomed thousands to participate in retreats, cultural gatherings, and programs. Jesuits say they feel at peace with the transition.
It's a great joy for us to have reached this point, knowing that transitions are never the final word in a relationship. We will still maintain our connection to this place.
Moving forward, it will be a collaborative partnership with the Diocese of Sault Ste. Marie, who says his goal will be to bring people together.
I really believe we have an opportunity for growth and to be a place of coming together and of encounter. For me, that's absolutely mission number one.
Dowd and McDonald say in the very near future, they're hoping to bring students to the Spiritual Center for field trips to show how culture and faith can work together as one, as it has here for many years. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Espanola.
Being a boomer is great.
Stan French doesn't mind when people call him a boomer.
As a boomer, you've got that freedom to try and stay active.
It was while he was on his way to play old-timers hockey at the West Ferris Arena when he started thinking that being a boomer ain't bad, and thus the name of his song celebrating the boomer way of life was born.
You're going to enjoy life as a retired senior. You're going to have the challenges, losses of things like eyesight and hearing, but if you can laugh at those and say, oh, that's part of life, that's good.
With the help of his boomer bandmates, French recorded the song and a music video.
Being a boomer ain't bad.
Where royalties will be donated to One Kids Place, the Alzheimer's Society, and the Victorian Order of Nurses Smile program. These are charities that refer clients to BASAR Search and Rescue and support families needing Project Lifesaver. French is the president of the Search and Rescue team.
This will be great for us and to help with getting to help more seniors with having more of that money and keeping them safe at home as long as possible.
One Kids Place currently has 30 children with autism in the program. Proceeds there will help offset costs of Project Lifesaver enrollment.
It's incredibly comforting to families that they have a number to call and it immediately mobilizes a team to go and find their child.
Currently, there are 56 clients in the Nipissing district that are fitted with a Project Lifesaver transmitter that will help police locate them should they wander off.
We're almost up at the point where we'll have one client for every 1,000 people in the community.
He's hoping the song becomes an instant classic and an earworm that people will start humming or singing the catchy melody. And that's already started.
So being a boomer ain't bad.
I'm going to give them some enjoyment with the song, and hopefully they'll return the favor by donating.
Because after all, as French notes,
being a boomer ain't bad.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
In 2000, Madame Linda buried treasures, creating a new school tradition.
Our students wanted to do something special for the millennium, so they decided to do a time capsule for 10 years. So it was brought back up in 2010, and at the time it was decided as a school that we wanted to wait 15 years this time. So here we are in 2025.
After opening the capsule, students were able to see the now graduated students' mementos from the past, even including a Carby science experiment.
I felt a little nervous because they were also digging up an old time capsule that's been in there for 25 years. So it was a little energetic, but also a little worrying to see what they actually put in there.
I see a lot of pictures of old families that used to go to the school, and I found it very funny that there's a piece of bread in the time capsule, which is like very funny, so that's my thoughts.
What do you want people to know?
Well, I want them to know that I play soccer and that my favorite color is blue and that I love math.
The time capsule brought back more than just memories as the retired principal Suzanne Book returned to watch the new generation carry on their tradition.
They're still excited about doing something special. So I have a lot of faith in the new generations coming up, and it will be just as beautiful, I'm sure.
At the end of the day, students reburied the time capsule, leaving behind their gifts that will be rediscovered in 10 years. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
That's a life lesson that's been 25 years in the making. It makes me wonder how the time capsule we buried in grade school turned out. If there's any other Forest Glade Public School grads that might be watching, who knows, let me know. Go Gators. That's our final good news presentation of the holidays. We hope you enjoyed going down memory lane just as much as we did. On behalf of all of us at CTV Northern Ontario, I want to wish you a very happy, healthy, and safe new year. We'll be back on Monday with your regularly scheduled news from the studio. We want to thank CTV Park for hosting us tonight. And until Monday, thanks for watching. Good night.